Hey Growth Seekers, over the last couple of days, I've been sharing my journey with you and how I got started into digital marketing. It has not been an easy route, and it's been filled with doubt where I didn't know if I was going to be successful. I didn't know if I had it inside of me to become a digital marketer. But I'm going to tell you guys what changed everything for me. So, as you guys know from this email, I had started working with a pest control company, and at first I was doing their web design and their SEO. That stuff's easy because I literally just have to follow a playbook. But when it comes to ads and getting more people to pick up the phone and call, that's where it gets a little difficult because you actually have to use marketing psychology to get customers. And I didn't really know that. I was still a freshman in college going to get my marketing degree. I was reading all the books I could to try to understand it. And at this time, the pest control company said, you know what, Keaton, I want you to run our Google Ads. Everybody's running Google Ads right now. We don't know what to do, and we think you can figure it out. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. But hey, I'm not going to charge you guys because I've never done it before. So let's give it a shot. If I get you guys some results, then we can talk about compensation. They loved the idea. So we jumped in and I started running ads. Well, a month went by and we weren't getting that many phone calls. 2 months went by and we weren't getting that many phone calls. I started to panic because I didn't want the pest control company thinking that I didn't know what I was doing in all aspects. It was just that I didn't know how to run Google Ads. It was a new experience for me. So I started to dig into books more, Google like crazy, watch YouTube videos, try to understand what the secrets were. And then it hit me one night. I was in bed, all snuggled in, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I jumped out of bed and I ran to my computer and I started creating a landing page right there. I created a completely new ad and I waited, right? I crawled back into bed. I said a little prayer to the universe, to God, and I was like, listen, I need the help. Please, please, please let this work. I woke up the next day. I got a call from the pest control company and I was so scared. I thought this was it. I thought, you know what, 2 months had gone by. They didn't want to waste any more money, and they were gonna cut the program, right? Cut the ad campaign. And I was surprised, right? They were so excited when they hopped on that phone call. And they said, Keaton, what have you been doing? It's not even noon yet, and we already got 4 new customers. And my mouth just dropped. I felt so happy. I was like, oh, I did it. Like that is it, right? And this was about 7 years ago. And what I want to share with you guys is exactly the epiphany I had so that you guys can start applying this to your regular home pages, right? Your ad campaigns or your social media posts, because it applies to all 3 areas. Okay, so what am I talking about? What was the secret? Well, when you're thinking about it, we first have to understand why people visit websites. Right? Now, if you're a chiropractor, a dentist, pest control company, massage therapist, veterinarian, people aren't coming to your website to just hang out, right? They're not coming to really enjoy your content that you've written because your content talks about problems they have. And people don't like thinking about the problems they have unless they're facing the problem in that moment, right? And so for that reason, when people visit your website, it's because they need help. It's because they need help solving that problem. And that's what hit me, right? I didn't have to try to sell that we have, that pest control company, that we had the best trucks, the best treatments, that we had the best prices or anything like that, because the customer really didn't care. All they cared about is if I could solve their problem. And that's when, and over the years, I've refined this and I've listened to other people and I've pulled in their strategies and their psychology, and I put this together in a super simple 3-step plan that you guys can use to start applying to your customers right now. So what is it, right? Well, check this out, okay? It first looks like an upside down triangle. Okay, I'm gonna try to draw this really big for you guys here. Okay, number 1 rule here, can't make fun of my drawing. Okay, so we have this upside down triangle, and this is what people call a funnel, right? Or a customer journey, right? Triangles are used all the time in marketing. But the way you can think of this is the customer and what they're doing to arrive at your product or service. When they pull out their wallet and say, you know what, I think you can solve my problem, you can help me, take my money, right? And so it's divided up into 3 different sections. Now in this top area, you have problem recognition, okay? And this was popularized by a famous copywriter who had 5 steps in his customer journey. But we watered it down to 3 for you guys, okay? So the very first step is problem recognition. What is going on? Now, if you're a chiropractor, I love using this example because it's so easy to relate to. If you guys have back pain and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden that neck or, that back or whatever just starts hurting really, really bad, you can't ignore it, right? Or let's say you're driving down the highway and your tire goes flat and you don't have a spare tire in your car. Well, you can't really ignore that flat tire or your engine breaking down, your battery going dead or whatever it is. You can't really ignore it. So you have to face the problem in that moment, right? So that's what that stage is. As soon as they realize, oh, I've got a problem here and I probably need to solve it, right? Now that next stage down is all the available solutions for them to solve their problem, okay? Now, if it's a chiropractor and I, woke up with a really bad neck, well, I might, do some stretches. I might ice it. I might heat it up, right? I might hop in the hot tub, right? There's so many different things. And so that next level down is competing solutions or other solutions. Other solutions, okay? And again, if it's this chiropractor example, that could be heating it, icing it, or stretching it, okay? Now, the reason why it's so important to realize other solutions is because your customer is already looking for solutions before they come in contact with your page, before you show up on Google, before they see you on social media, whatever it is, they're already looking for solutions. And it's so much more powerful when you can meet that customer and show that you really understand their customer journey. For example, let's go with the chiropractor, right? Someone Googles, hey, back pain, how to get rid of back pain, and your ad pops up. And it's like, hey, come to the chiropractor. They click on it, they're like, maybe chiropractor. Isn't chiropractor for, old people, right? People in their 70s or 80s that really need an adjustment. I just slept wrong. And so the problem, right away, it's gonna say, you got a back problem or you got a neck problem, right? And we can help. How do we know you got a problem? Because every time you reach for that top shelf, it really hurts, right? You don't have full mobility. You're tiptoeing throughout the day. We bet you've tried to ice it and you've tried to heat it up and you tried to stretch it. You tried to, get some rest, but it's still there. And the reason why that hasn't worked is because of X, Y, and Z. But you know what will work? And then that right there is when they move from the problem, solutions, to your solution, right? The third step in the funnel. And this is where it's your product, right? And that's where the money is. So they start looking at you and they're like, whoa, this guy gets it. This guy understands that I've tried icing it and it hasn't worked, right? And I don't want this to last 2 weeks, right? So what am I gonna do? Well, his logic makes sense. He understands me. I trust him. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go sign up, right? So as soon as I figured that out, that 3-step process, it turned everything around. And it works for every type of business. And the reason why it works for every type of business is because people are purchasing for one of 3 reasons, or sometimes all 3 at the same time, right? And so let me tell you guys, I'm going to erase the desk right here and show you this. When you purchase, you're purchasing to fulfill 3 goals, right? And you can kind of think of these as circles, okay? So we got our top circle up here, and then our little underneath, and another circle, okay? So we got 3 circles. Now, the first one is for something tangible. It just works, right? And the way I like to think about this is food, fast food, right? People don't go to fast food because it's the best in the world, right? Because it's made from a fantastic French chef who, you had to fly over, and it's just absolutely amazing, right? People don't go to Wendy's and McDonald's for that. They go to Wendy's and McDonald's because it's cheap and it's fast, right? And it satisfies that hunger, right? So when someone purchases for a tangible reason, they do it just because it works, right? Hey, I don't care about this. I just want it to work, right? Now on this other circle over here, what we have is for economic reasons, right? So what that means is on fast food, you're going to be purchasing for both of these reasons, right? You have the first reason, which is, hey, it satisfies my hunger. And then the second reason, it's cheaper than the next guy, right? And then the third reason people purchase things is for an emotional connection, okay? So let me tell you guys something here. A brand will never be able to fulfill an emotional connection, right? So let's think about this. There's a gym here in Utah where I'm from, and they have all of the equipment you'll ever need. They have literally like 500 treadmills. They have an indoor swimming pool, indoor track, all of the weight equipment that you need, classes, all of it, and it only costs $10 a month, okay? So the strategy behind this gym is very, very smart. What they decided to do is say, hey, let's hit on tangible and economical over and over and over again until our user base starts losing weight, okay? And once they start losing weight, they'll realize, oh my goodness, I joined that gym and now I've lost so much weight, right? That gym is the reason why I lost weight. And that's what people do, right? It's only $10 a month, so it's very economical. And they have all of the equipment. It gets the job done, and so it's very tangible, right? They can touch it, it's functional, it does what it needs to do, okay? And if you keep hitting that over and over again, the users are going to start to see results. They're going to start losing weight. And so when that happens, they're going to start feeling good about themselves. They're going to start feeling more healthy. They're going to enjoy their life so much more, and they're going to start to form an emotional connection with that gym. But the thing is, did that gym lose weight for them? No, right? That user had to hop on the treadmill, right? That customer had to hop on the treadmill and do the work for themselves. They had to go in and pump iron every day to start losing weight, right? They had to eat healthy at home, but the customer, right, the gym membership owner does not get that. They think that that gym helped them get there, right? So now you guys might be a little lost, and that's okay, because we're talking about two different things. You had the customer journey, problem, other solution, your solution, right? Now you have why people purchase. Let's put them together, okay? And this is what makes a landing page, any marketing strategy, take off, okay? So the very first part on that problem, okay? We're gonna build a landing page right here, and you guys are gonna see that how you can use this for social media posts. You can use this talking to your customers face to face. You can use this for a landing page, an ad, anything. When you're dealing with your customer, this is going to be your secret weapon. Okay, so we're gonna do an example with a landing page here, just because it's really easy to understand, okay? So I'm just gonna go right to the top here of the page. Okay. Oh, and if you guys don't know what a landing page is simply a web page where people land on, right? It's their very first page they see on your website. A landing page could be a funnel, it could be a single page, it could be a page inside your website that just shows up on Google. It's just a web page, right? Okay, so here is our landing page. And at the top, I always like to have a nice, beautiful image right up here. And the reason why I like to do that is because it tells the customer exactly where they are. They know instantly that they're at the right place. So let's use the example of roadside assistance. Someone's driving and their car blows up and they don't know why, right? They've never opened up the hood, it's smoking, they're freaking out and they have no idea. So they pull out their cell phone and they start typing in roadside assistance. Okay? And so they click on the first ad and what do they see? Well, first we have to say, hey, we understand your problem, right? We understand you and we have empathy for your situation. So we could write a headline like, are you stuck? Or stuck on the side of the road or anything like that, right? So, okay, one big sentence, stuck on the side of the road, and I'm gonna have some kind of car broken down in the background. So as soon as that person loads their phone and they see it, they're like, boom, I'm in the right place. I don't have to look around. First question in their mind is answered, okay? Now the second thing they gotta do is we gotta make them really feel that pain, right? We gotta really make them feel the problem so they act now rather than, oh, I'll get back to it later, or, you know, okay, this is a good option. I'm gonna call my uncle and see if he can come down and help me out, whatever it is, right? So we dig that knife into their side a little bit and we talk about if it's dangerous, right? They're on the side of the road. What part makes it dangerous? What part doesn't make it dangerous? We start talking about towing fees and how if you just call us, we'll come pick you up right away. And so the towing fees will be included in the overall bill and all this kind of stuff. You really make them feel that pain, right? So that's what I do in this section, and I might do a couple, 3 pain points. Pain, pain, pain. Now, this isn't like you're not trying to scare them, right? You're not trying to scare them into buying from you. What you're trying to do is just say, hey, we understand your situation. You're trying to show empathy and you're trying to help them realize this problem's bigger than you think, okay? So after you do that, you talk about competing solutions. And what I like to do here, just a nice little image, and then the text here is competing solutions, okay? And just do some text like that. Now, that's your competing solutions. Now, finally, on step 3, we start talking about your service. We don't talk about your service or your product until they reach 3 sections down. That's crazy, right? But it works, okay? So we start talking about your problem and your service. Now, this is where the 3 goals come into mind, right? Is it because people want it fast and cheap, right? Like, is it fast food? Well, if it is fast food, I might start throwing out, we'll take care of you. We understand your problem, and no one's gonna beat our price. We're gonna be the cheapest in the world. No one's gonna beat our price, and we're gonna get you back on the road as fast as possible, right? And so I might do a little banner here. It just goes across, and I'll say, best price guaranteed, okay? Best price guaranteed right there. And then I start talking about why it's so tangible. But if my user doesn't want the cheapest, they have a really nice, it could be a $50,000 truck or an $80,000, whatever, right? They really want their car, their baby to be taken care of. I'm not gonna say best price guaranteed because they don't care about that, right? That's a turnoff for them because they have a really strong emotional connection to their car, right? So I'm gonna go, instead of best price guaranteed, I'm gonna go all about that functional, that tangible side, something that they feel like they're being taken care of. It gets it does the job, but not just does the job, but it's on the other end of that spectrum, right? So I might say something like 100% satisfaction guaranteed. right? That's how I might start that. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And then I go into it why we're the best option because we have top of the line equipment. We have professional techs that have over 5 years of experience per tech. We specialize in his truck or her truck or whatever it is, right? And we go into that, right? And that's how you play off of it, and you put them in that mindset that, hey, I'm doing this to solve a very functional, tangible goal, or I'm here to solve an economical goal. I want the cheapest or I want the most expensive product out there, right? And so you hit on those in that third section when you talk about your product, right? This is where you bring up customer reviews. This is where you bring up guarantees, all of that in this bottom section. And that's how you double your conversion rate, and that's how you build a relationship with your customers, because they understand that you understand their problem, their journey, what they're dealing with day in and day out. And if you understand them, they're going to feel so much more confident and comfortable with giving you their money to solve their problem because you actually know what's going on, right? Okay, guys, this was a pretty long video, but I really wanted to jump in and I really wanted to explain how the customer journey and your buying goals fit together and how you guys can use it to talk to your customers. That's it, guys. You got to talk about their problem, the solutions that are out there and available to them, and then yours and why you're best based off of what they care about. Functionality, economic, or emotional, right? And you play off of emotional and economic over and over again until the customer builds an emotional tie to your brand, right? They start telling all their friends about it. And don't worry, I have tons and tons of videos on how to get referrals, and it plays off of all of this. So I won't bore you guys with those. You have to hop in the Knowledge Center to check them out. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you now have light bulbs going off in your business of how you can tweak things and really start talking, communicating with your customer. Okay, guys, see you around. Bye.